Finishing is what separates people, the great ones from the good ones. Opportunity is not obligation. Rebuilding is uncomfortable. Protect your energy, protect your bandwidth, protect your peace.
You're now tapped into the Culture Code, where business, creativity, and culture collide. With VIP Vern, entrepreneur, visionary, creator. This ain't commentary, it's lived experience. Let's decode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Code Show. Today's episode is real, it's personal, and it's something a lot of us are living through right now. Balancing growth, responsibility, creativity, and identity all at the same time. Here's what we're decoding today. First, protecting your energy while you're building. Second, why most people don't finish what they start. Third, the hidden cost of opportunity. Fourth, balancing all the roles you play in life. Fifth, rebuilding while still moving forward. And last but not least, what it really means to design your own life. There's a lot to unpack today. Let's get right into it.
You're now tapped into the Culture Code.
So when you're building multiple things at once, whether it be a brand, a business, or a movement, everybody wants access to you. People don't see the weight you carry, they just see the output. Online, booked and busy looks glamorous. In real life, it drains you. One of the biggest skills I had to learn was how to say no. Because every yes costs energy, it costs focus, it costs time. And it always comes out of the bucket you need for the things that actually matter. Entrepreneurs burn out trying to show up everywhere and for everyone. And at this stage of my life, to be quite honest with you, I've learned that discipline is greater than motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Protect your energy, protect your bandwidth, protect your peace.
This ain't commentary, it's lived experience. Let's decode.
A lot of people love the idea of starting something, but do they really have the thought to finish what they started? Starting feels exciting. You get the thrill of putting something together, but finishing requires discipline. The biggest momentum killers to me is overthinking, comparison to other people or whatever projects they're doing, waiting for the perfect conditions to launch or start something, wanting applause too early. That's one of those things for me that I never put in the back of my mind because the job's not done yet. And letting fear dress itself up as preparation. You don't need permission. You need consistency. Finishing is what separates people, the great ones from the good ones. Anyone can launch. That's a fact. Anyone can say, hey, I'm starting an event, I'm starting a project, I'm starting a new business, but are you going to follow through with what you started? Very few people complete that. That's why I'm saying this. And the moment you learn to finish, you enter a different category because finishing creates rooms that starting can't.
You're now tapped into the Culture Code.
So let's talk about opportunities. A lot of us wish for them. We get excited at them. But opportunities, they sound glamorous, but every opportunity takes energy from somewhere else. People want more, but they don't realize that more can become a distraction if it isn't aligned. Opportunity is not obligation. Just because it came to you doesn't mean it's for you. Just because someone wants access doesn't mean you're supposed to open that door for them. So, one of the things that I'd like to ask you today is this. Do you actually have a filter between yourself and this decision process of saying yes or no? For me, the question I ask myself is this. Does this align with my vision? Does this stretch me or drain me? Does this pull me closer to where I'm going? Or does it look good but slow me down? Opportunities aren't free. They cost bandwidth, time, energy, creativity. The key is learning which ones are worth the price. That's how you're going to excel. Trust me on this.
This ain't commentary. It's lived experience. Let's decode.
Okay, so I was asked a question in my DM about reinventing while you are still moving forward. Okay, so what my thoughts on this question is reinvention doesn't happen in silence. It happens while you're still moving. You outgrow versions of yourself, you outgrow environments, you outgrow expectations people built for you. Growth feels lonely sometimes, not because anything is wrong, but because you're separating yourself from who you used to be. It requires mental toughness. Rebuilding is uncomfortable, but so is staying the same person you are, that same status quo. And the truth is, the new life you want requires a new version of you. What it really means to design your life, not just live it. A lot of people aren't living, they're surviving. And there's a big difference between letting life happen and designing the life you want. So there's a couple points I want to go into this topic. And first off, I'm going to talk to you about survival versus intention. Survival is reactive. You wake up, respond to problems, handle whatever comes your way. But designing your life is intentional. It's for choosing. What we choosing? Who you give access to. The environments you keep yourself in, the pace you move at. The second point, vision over circumstances. People think circumstances shape the vision. That is not the reality. The vision shapes the circumstances. Your life expands to match what you're aiming at. Third point, travel expands how you see yourself. This is huge, people. This is huge. Go out, go wherever life takes you. Move with purpose. Travel has been one of my greatest teachers. From different cities in the States to being overseas, every single place showed me a different version of what life could look like. When you step into new environments, your imagination for what's possible stretches with it. That is a fact. Point 4, alignment over aesthetics. Designing your life isn't about curating a look. It's about curating alignment. Your routine, your habits, your relationship, your rhythm. All of it should support the person you're becoming, not the version of you outgrew. Please stick to this script. When you stop operating on autopilot and start designing with intention, everything shifts. Your energy, your opportunities, your clarity. Life becomes something you shape, not something you just survive. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Culture Code Show. I hope today's conversation gave you something to think about and a little extra insight for your own journey. If there's a topic you'd like to discuss on this show, you know what to do. I'd love to hear from you. Please shoot me a DM. Looking forward to decoding more with you on the next episode.